A class on a field trip. Xiaogo Oyamada tormenting Ayaka Sagu by taking her book. Nobody else cares and minds their own business. Not even the teacher, Tamatsu Zakirogi. Pipsqueak Tauka Mamori finally stands up to stop him, but is teased like hell. Until hot guy Takuto Kirihara tells the bully to just stop. And just like that, the lapdog returns the book, and order is somewhat restored. Just then, the entire class is being summoned to another world. Before them is the goddess, Vicious of Alien Kingdom, who has summoned them to fight the Demon Lord. I guess they have to because the only way for them to go back is to get an element from the Demon Lord's heart or absorb his element when he dies into some necklace. With the students confused and not thinking they can do such a dangerous job, Vicious demonstrates as she lets a poor prisoner get mauled by a monster wolf before she kills it off with her magic. She has all the students take an aptitude test via crystal ball to determine their skills. Some, like Kirihara and Ayaka, are S rank. When it is Tauka's turn, nothing happens as Vicious asks the next person. When all is done, Vicious then quickly summons Tauka to a spot. It seems as the lowest ranked person, he is marked for disposal because, as history shows, such a person will be a hindrance to others. I suppose his whatever abnormal state endowment skill is considered useless. He is under the failure frame category. Tauka thinks Tamahiro Yasu, a bully victim, sympathizes with him, but instead, Yasu mocks him for being a loser. But to give him a chance to survive, he will be thrown into the depths of a dungeon known as the Abandoned Ruins. As Ayaka tries to protest, Vicious punches her guts to knock her out. A betrayed Tauka vows to return and make them pay. Off he is teleported to Abandoned Ruins. Next thing he knows, he is running for his life from this minotaur. He is scared come confused that his paralyzed spell works on it when he thought it wasn't supposed to. It also works on this bird monster. However, he is low on MP, and he doesn't know what will happen if he overuses it.
Poison!
But he is overcome with frustration and hatred from the betrayal, and thus vows to do whatever it takes to survive. The system have rule that you cannot use the same spell on the same target. So he alternates between paralyze, sleep, and poison as more and more monsters show up. With his low MP, it is taking a toll on his mental strength. But when a monster then dies from his poison, suddenly he levels up. This allows him to hit multiple targets as he rinses and repeats his feat. Damn, he is leveling up like nobody's business. To a point, the monsters get scared of him and run. Hungry, he thought of eating the dead corpses, but they tasted like poop. Not sure of this unlimited bag item in his possession, because at least it somehow brings him chips and cola. Tauka continues this process with other monsters as he levels up tremendously. The flashback shows his parents abused him until his uncle and aunt came to his rescue and gave him a normal life. Tauka then stumbles into an area where there are corpses of other failure frames. He takes their items, and this particular mage, Anglin Bathrad, left a letter claiming he was once a hero, but abandoned by Vicious after he outlived his usefulness. Anglin also left behind a book of forbidden arts, but Tauka is unable to figure out it. He believes he will unlock more greatness if he does so, but his concern now is to get out of Abandoned Ruins, and to do that, he must obtain the gem on the forehead of this creepy dungeon master monster, Soul Eater. Looks like he can't activate his skills as fast as Soul Eater will already take a shot at him. But what's this? When Soul Eater sends out clones of dead failure frames in anguish, this makes Tauka panic. However, he doesn't want to harm his fellow humans. What moral high ground does he think he is? I thought he was supposed to survive? As Soul Eater relishes in seeing Tauka in torment, of course it is revealed it was all an Oscar-worthy act by him to let its guard down before he paralyzes and poisons it to death. Now Tauka's smirk as he watches it die in agonizing death. The better sadist wins. All the failure frame souls are released as they thank Tauka. Anglin was hoping he would get revenge on Vicious on their behalf. While Tauka has no obligation to do so, he is going to make that witch to pay. After placing the gem, he is now able to come out to the Abandoned Ruins. Let's see how the class is doing. Leveling up is fine, and some relish massacring the monsters. Weak Kobato Kushima is being roped in by Asagi Ikusaba to join her group as she notes that everyone else is selfish and operates on their own. Or would she rather be ostracized like Tauka? She has her kill this ugly creature to level up, and as a test for her to officially join their group. After doing so, Kashima can only cry in silence as she notes Tauka is actually a kind person and she was too weak to help him. Ayaka talks to Vicious, who apologizes with crocodile tears for knocking her out. She claims it is the kingdom's policy. Also, the students need to level up because there's this policy. If they remain weak, she will also have to get rid of them. Ayaka makes a deal with her for those who fail, promising she won't banish them. Vicious agrees, but Ayaka doesn't seem convinced. After getting out the ruins, Tauka sees a slime being bullied by others. After scaring the rest of the slime victims, the victim decides to follow Tauka. So Tauka decided to take the slime as a pet and named the slime Pigimaru. Nearby, a young lady named Cirrus Ashrain is being chased by a group of men known as White Walkers. Sorry, these losers have no relation, and are not to be confused with the ones from Game of Thrones. They stumble into Tauka, who is putting on his best act of being scared and doesn't want to be killed. But those scumbags want to kill him, and when one of them attacks, Tauka paralyzes him. It seems his spell works on humans too. As they were talking of capturing and raping a certain woman, Tauka realizes they are scumbags like his classmates. Thus, he has no problems killing them. After that, he paralyzes Cirrus as he senses some murderous intent. She is surprised to learn he killed White Walkers as Tauka learns she is not associated with them. He asks about his whereabouts, and it seems this is not Alien but Urza Kingdom. Asking if she can read this book, she can't read these ancient scripts either. But she knows of one who might. The Forbidden Witch, who was banished from this land as she learned all things forbidden, could be found at the Golden Demon Zone that is right smack in the middle of this continent. Tauka calls this even and parts ways. He will not kill her since she isn't a bad person and massacring isn't his hobby. He will kill only by his own rules. It seems there is a bounty for Cirrus, who is a holy knight and former princess of a destroyed elven nation. Entering a small town of Mills, Tauka, under the alias of Hattie Skull, notices how laid back and peaceful it is. Soon, an announcement that a new lair in the local ruins has been found. An expedition is formed to seek the Dragon's Eye Cup from that newfound level. Whoever finds it will be compensated, and if they find any other loot, they too will be paid handsomely. During the registration, a cocky guy, Monk Dorochdi, is teasing some busty girl and believes she is Cirrus. As he unveils her hood, sorry Buster, she is but a human named Mist Barkus. He leaves embarrassed and furious. After the registration, Tauka talks to Mist as he needs advice on how to get the necessary tools for the expedition. He will pay her since she is in need of traveling funds. As Tauka starts his descent, he notices many monsters that are too low as a threat for him, but for other adventurers, they're freaking out. Nothing like a good mix of paralyze and poison. Then he stumbles into Monk and his goons and overhears them planning to kill Mist. When he is found out, he tries to apologize and make no big deal out of it. However, when they want to kill him, he paralyzes and poisons them, leaving them to be killed by the monsters. Tauka finally enters the room where the cup is. He can see from a mile away that the statue will be animated once he takes it. Yup, paralyze and poison. After that, Mist pops up. Since Tauka has no use for the cup, he gives it to her for free. For his goal lies further than this. He finds a hidden passage and plans to fight some demon down there. Mist cannot accept this for free and wants to at least provide her sword skills. He agrees with some conditions. Mist revealing golden-eyed demons have lots of experience points, and thus are for heroes who wish to level up. Humans don't level up by killing their own kind, though there are some of those demons who develop good relationships with humans. According to legend, a special magic element released by the demon lord affects demons that are strongly influenced by it to become golden-eyed. This means they will have their full potential unleashed. As they take a break, Mist's cover wears off so Tauka is able to tell she is actually Cirrus. Now they're faced with this skeleton king. Mist believes this is a very strong demon and that she needs to unleash a secret powerful skill. She hopes Talca can keep it a secret. Well, paralyze and poison. The Skeleton King just died so easily like that. Mist is so confused. Talca then finds a strange egg, and with Pigamaru signaling to him, he will take it along with him. As Mist will be officially rewarded for finding the cup, Talca wants to talk to her before the ceremony. He tells her his goal to find the forbidden witch at the Golden Demon Zone and needs a highly skilled person to help him. He wants to hire her for the job. He will pay her with a blue dragon stone he found in abandoned ruins. To her shock, this actually is worth more than the cup since it is very rare and not in current circulation. It is also then he reveals he knows her as Cirrus. Since it would be troublesome for her to keep her secret identity during the travel, it is best he tells her now. She reveals her spirit power helps mask her identity, and because it was discovered by White Walkers, she was on the run. With them gone, her journey will be a lot easier. After Talca introduces his real name, both agree to use each other's alias in public. While Cirrus has lots of personal issues and a past, Talca is not interested in it. As long as he can make the best out of their situation, it is all that matters. Cirrus further reveals that forbidden arts and spells are banned by Vicious by her will. This means that they are a danger to her. As Ayaka has another talk with Vicious, the latter notes she is not joining Kirihara's group. Ayaka claims they are incompatible, so once more the goddess sheds fake tears about her own lack of leadership while trying to pass off Ayaka as a selfish person. Vicious will have her train some of the students who do not pass because she claims she received new orders to get rid of those who don't. And if Ayaka doesn't accept, they will be disposed of. She has no choice but to accept it. As Talca waits for Cirrus, something feels wrong when she doesn't show up. Then he overheard some guys talking about seeing her running away into the forest because the Black Dragon Knights have busted her identity and are chasing her. Cirrus is on the run, and since she cannot use her spirit power, this makes her fight harder. Though, she manages to take down some of them. Then she gets pinned down by the Vice who reveals they have secret orders to get her. This guy tries to rape her, but lucky for her, Talca is here. Talca used his spell to paralyze and poison the knight. Talca then gives her his entire bag of blue dragon stones. This is proof he wants to hire her for the journey. Then he wants her to strip. Because everybody in town recognized her clothes, so it's better to change. What were you thinking? Before Talca could get the Vice to reveal the truth, he was killed off by Civet Garland, who is the strongest human in the land. But it is no secret, as he reveals the one who ordered Cirrus's death is King Ortora himself. Old Geezer can't allow others to defile her sexy body, and thus he wants her killed to maintain her purity. Civet then gives Cirrus a chance to fight him, and should she win, he will spare her life. However, he seems to be interested in Talca, as he has a different aura. Because for a person who doesn't even fear the Black Dragon Knights and wants to talk to him, he must be really different. Talca asks if he is so interested in fighting strong people, shouldn't he fight Vicious? Unfortunately, Alien and the Bakuo's empire have a close relationship. It is further revealed that Bakuo's destroyed the Elven Empire, and it was Cirrus's fault because the former king refused the goddess's request to give her a holy knight. Talca knows Civet can tell who is lying, so he makes the surprise reveal of his real name and from another world. While technically not lying, he words it in a way that is left for Civet to interpret, like he is traveling separately from the rest since he is of different rank. His goal is to get stronger for revenge, and thus he hopes to fight a death match with Civet one day. Civet likes it and agrees to let him go. Talca also wants him to spare Cirrus, as she is essential for him to get stronger. He agrees, and as everyone leaves, this is a chance for Talca to strike back as he paralyzes and poisons them all. Sorry, dudes, there is nothing noble about this. All for revenge. Civet, as the strongest, continues to struggle as backup has been called. Can Talca kill the rest of the squad at this range? Well, he uses Pigamaru as tentacles to extend his range. Everybody is dead and dropping like flies. Civet dead. End of humanity's strongest. Ceres wants to help Talca in his quest for revenge and to use her power. After all, he risked his life to save hers, and it's about time she does the same. Meanwhile, Vicious sends her apostle, Niantic Kikipat, as her representative to join the students for some expedition. The kings of various nations of the Alliance are holding a meeting, and Vicious is one of the attendees. They talk about how Civet and the Black Dragon Knights have fallen, and if Ceres was the one who killed him. Because lots of her blood was found on the site, they believe she also died from her wounds. Also, the king just died last night. Then they receive info that a group of sorcerers is believed to be behind the demise of the Black Dragon Knights named Ashinto. In the town of Monroy, there is a blood coliseum that has slaves and mercenaries called blood fighters fight each other to the death. Rumors of Civet as well as Ceres' death reach others and are the talk of the town. Also, about Ashinto, who worships some curse god and seem to be taking credit for that. Hearing a few guys talk about somebody meeting the Forbidden Witch, Tauka using his PR to get more info. It seems that person works in Blood Coliseum, and as luck would have it, the strongest blood fighter walks in, Eve Speed. Tauka talks to this leopard face about meeting the witch, and despite admitting she has ventured into the Golden Demon Zone, she has not met that witch. Eve advises him not to foolishly throw his life away since he will not last 3 days there. Later, Tauka confirms with Ceres, and it seems Eve was lying about one thing. She knows where the Forbidden Witch is. Ceres helps to train Tauka using some arts as we also get to officially know that she is crushing on him. Later, Ceres has found more info on Eve. Once a slave, she fought her way up to be the strongest and undefeated. Tomorrow will be her last day because she has managed to get paid enough to buy her freedom. However, the catch is that she already achieved that 2 years ago. What's holding her back? There is a dark elf kid, Lisbeth, at the orphanage whom she is also trying to buy back. And as always, blood fighters often die in their final match. Duke Zuin, who owns and runs Blood Coliseum, will often throw someone out of their league to put them at a disadvantage. Tauka and Ceres meet up with Eve to tell her that Zuin has plotted her death for tomorrow's fight. They are trying to save her because they want info on the Forbidden Witch. Since she doesn't trust them, he asks if she minds they kidnap Liz and run away. In fact, Eve thinks there is no use in running away because Zuin has wide connections and they will become fugitives. Eve doesn't mind if she is on the run, but she can't risk Liz being dragged into this. Tauka claims there is a safe space to hide, Golden Demon Zone. As Eve still distrusts them, Tauka reveals himself as the one who defeated the Black Dragon Knights. For show, he paralyzes Eve. To add credibility, Ceres reveals herself. Although Eve believes them, she still won't trust them and will fight tomorrow. Tauka wonders if Zuin will keep his word. Eve believes trust among blood fighters is most important. All Tauka can say is that they'll be waiting at the bridge, and if she changes her mind, meet there. That night, Eve, bothered by Tauka's words, goes to see Zuin, but hears him talking to someone about poisoning and killing Eve for tomorrow. Worse, he has plans for Liz too. Now that she realizes the true scumbag he is, Eve goes to see Tauka. She will bring him to the witch. For now, they will go save Liz, who is being tormented and abused by the mistress. Eve comes in to get her as the mistress claims she is only put up to this as per Zuin's request to be strict on her. After that, Tauka confronts her, and now she's putting up a front. Scumbags like her deserve what they get. Yes, paralyze and poison again. As they escape, Tauka tells Eve of why he wants to see the Forbidden Witch. Eve views him as a good person because had he been a rotten one, he could have used Liz to blackmail her, but he didn't. Of course Tauka didn't because he was thinking ahead. Knowing the Forbidden Witch is also a dark elf, he thinks of eliciting a favorable response and claim they help save her kin. And also as an abused kid, Tauka wants her to be happy. Soon, a chasing group is spotted. Eve reveals on her way out from Zuin's place, she met Muaji, who is the leader of Ashinto. Tauka will engage them now since it will be a pit to lose Eve. They set loose their horse as diversion for the first group that is believed to be Zuin's private soldiers. Then they lie in wait for the second chasing group of Ashinto. Muaji calls out to Ceres hiding. When she agrees to bring them Eve and Liz in exchange for her life, Muaji has his men stop and knows this is a trap. He then reveals Ashinto are actually the remnants of the Assassin Guild, and they use very special poison to rid themselves of their targets. That's why it looked like curses to others. Stumbling upon the Black Dragon Knight's death, all the more reason they took advantage of this to spread their name. And Zuin is just a stepping stone for their goal to rule the world. Muaji knows she is also not alone and wants to call out her partner. Siraz then reveals herself as the one who took down Black Dragon Knights. Muaji calls her bluff as she can't possibly take down Civet herself. Because Ashinto has a couple of strong guys who are brothers to one of the men in White Walkers, Muaji adds his group is just a diversion, as another one had gone after Tauka. When all seems hopeless, Tauka paralyzes and poisons them all via Pigimaru. Yeah, this guy already dispatched the other group. Ashinto's movements and thoughts are all expected by Tauka, and they danced right in the palm of his hand. With Ashinto out, now they have to face Zuin's soldiers. Eve now fights, and for the first time, she has never enjoyed fighting this much. Zuin is going mad that things aren't going his way, even killing off his men who tried to flee. In the end, Eve gets the honor of decapitating this scumbag. In the aftermath, Tauka freezes all of Ashinto's bodies to crumble them into pieces to leave no trace of evidence of their existence. Some king receives news that Ashinto completely disappeared and Zuin and his soldiers' bodies are only found at the scene. He panics upon thinking how to report this to Vicious. Taking a break, Siraz asks why Tauka treats them kindly. Siraz reminds him of his aunt, Eve his uncle, and Liz of his young self being oppressed under a harsh environment. He will eliminate all threats and seek revenge as he sees fit. He allows Siraz to leave as she wishes, but as promised, she will be with him all the way. Soon, Siraz suggests naming their group the Lord of the Flies Brigade based on the army that was used by the Fly King. Arriving at Golden Demon Zone, Eve has Tauka infuse some magic in her hand to show the location of the Forbidden Witch. Meanwhile, Nyantan secretly trains Ayaka to be stronger since she reminds her of her younger sister. Vicious addresses the students that they need to level up more. Thus, she has invited distinguished individuals to help them train further. As the battle with the Demon Lord looms, it will be a big one in which all of them will have to take part. In view of all this, Vicious plans for them to go to the Golden Demon Zone. Looks like the demons here are weaker than those Tauka encountered in abandoned ruins. His usual spell works on them, and after killing them, he slices some of their flesh to be fed to Pigimaru to help strengthen him. Suddenly, they all feel a strange aura, but cannot make head or tail of it. Remember that egg. It hatches. A pony? Did this weird pony get lost from the My Little Pony cartoon? It seems feeding it with magic allows it to transform and evolve. Oh, now it's like Pokemon. I guess now it can help carry their luggage. Tauka names it Sleigh, after Odin's steed of Sleipnir. It seems the students are also in the Golden Demon Zone. However, Kirihara thinks that by having him fight low-level demons, it's like they are not appreciating him. He's going to show them he means business. When a group of demons attacks, Kirihara uses his signature move to kill all of them and declare he is the future king. Tauka's group has traveled to an area where there are not many demons around. Does this mean they are close to the witch? When a demon suddenly appears from behind without Tauka even being able to detect it, luckily Eve's quick response slices it dead. But before it dies, it sends a loud, shrieking voice. Now it seems a huge wave of demons is rushing in. Eve wants to take responsibility to fight the demons to let the rest escape. However, Tauka doesn't think you can survive this alone. Besides, she doesn't have to feel responsible for this, as he is the one who messed up. Tauka, along with Pigimaru and Sleigh, will handle the monsters while he wants Siraz to take the rest to safety. So we see Tauka riding on Sleigh as he lets the demons chase him while Pigimaru assists in using his skills. Meanwhile, a couple of students from Yasu's group have died after getting caught in the demon stampede. Ayaka is sad, but because Yasu claims they are weak and died protecting a higher-ranked hero, she talks about their obligation to protect the world. However, Yasu will not take this and starts chastising her and everyone about some hierarchy thingy. Even when Kirihara tells him off that ranting like this shows he is a small man, but Yasu continues to point out that rank isn't everything. Take, for instance, Ayaka, who is S rank, but she has not even unlocked her skills yet. On the other hand, Asagi, who is B rank, unlocked hers and surpassed Oyamada, who is of a rank. With the conversation ending abruptly, Kirihara also tells off Ayaka to know her place, as there are some dragging them down. But more worries for Ayaka as she learns Kashima is missing. Meanwhile, Eve plans to rescue Tauka. In the event he gets injured, somebody needs to bring him back. Siraz gives her blessing. We return to Tauka's chase as this method is draining his MP and all. He has to go round the back to all the demons he has killed to collect their XP and level up. Basically, Tauka is just going around and killing. Hope all the XP and leveling up are worth it. Meanwhile, Kashima is scared alone when Eve is shocked to stumble into her. Looking at Kashima, uncanny resemblance to Liz. Before she could make a move, Eve was paralyzed by the lightning of Itsuki Takao. Eve manages to break free and fight Itsuki. However, this fight is stopped when Hijiri, Itsuki's sister, tells her obedient sister to. She apologizes for her rashness, and it seems Hijiri can tell Eve is not like other demons as she possesses some intelligence and her fighting movements are different. Introducing themselves as humans from another world, Eve claims she is looking for her master. Hijiri takes it as someone powerful who can survive the stampede. Eve notes her master is not one to be simply measured. Back to Tauka's killing spree. Looks like he killed the whole bunch and even the final boss. But before a stray demon can kill him, cue from Eve to cut it down and bring the wounded master back to everyone else. Eve tells Tauka that she bumped into some of his friends. Thankfully, she did not mention Tauka's name. He is glad since the class is better off thinking he is dead. If they know he is alive, it will become an obstacle for his revenge against Vicious. Now for some close moments between Tauka and Siraz. Siraz trying to steal a kiss when he is asleep. Next morning as the brigade departs, Siraz tells Tauka that she has something she wants to confess to him but lacks courage. She hopes she will do so when the time comes. Of course we know is that she loves him, and although she is torn that by not saying so might have Tauka lose faith in her, for now she will be his sword. As for Tauka, he knows that Siraz does not know his true intentions. Thus for now he will act as her master. The Takao sisters wonder why Kashima is in Crazy Asagi's group, seeing she is fits to be an Ayaka. Kashima remembers the crazy ritual Asagi forced upon her to join her group. Kashima thinks of staying put because she believes Asagi might one day save Ayaka. The brigade has arrived at the residence of the Forbidden Witch. Lots of golems working on their own. Looks like the witch didn't even bother to hide the secret entrance since nobody has this much magic to open it. Except for Tauka, of course. This leads them to a different area where Erika Anarvale, who also the Forbidden Witch. Tauka can't hold back his smirk because he will learn the ancient scripts and get his revenge on Vicious. Speaking of her, she orders the students to return as there are movements in the Demon Lord's army. She can't wait to see how much they've grown. Thank you for watching till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time and peace out.